All right, hey everybody, this is Darkseid Elite here, and we got Hawk back. This might be a pretty long podcast, or it might be relatively short. Just depends on well, it depends on if we go on a tangent or we just end the conversation. So, um, I wanted to give you guys some clarification on on some things that are possibly going to be happening. I might be moving um, the whole podcast and the channel onto another site. I'm gonna keep it on YouTube, but I also want Hawk to be able to get in on the foundations of the podcast itself and the channel. So if he wants to make any changes or anything updated, he'll be able to have some connections to it. That's gonna take a little bit. I might be able to get to it during one of the 5 vacations I have to take pretty soon. Um, so that'll be something I'm gonna hopefully get onto and start the moving process. So I'm gonna be moving some of a lot of the podcasts and some of the other videos I've done. Mainly, I want to get the podcast and also any Snyder Cut information moved over to that site, and so Hawk will be able to get some access to that. The one that we have here is my personal access, and I've been over the time feeling that's not fair. I want Hawk to be able to have some some legs on the whole situation because this is both of ours, and I want it to be a 50-50 situation. How you feel about that, Hawk?
I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm just, going with
Oh,
the flow.
okay. All
Like
right.
it's the kind of lifestyle that I've been living.
Mm-hmm.
So at the moment, I don't sit in front of the computer like I used to, and
Yeah, right.
play games or watch because I have digital copy of movies on the PC.
Yeah.
I haven't done any movie
Yeah.
watching on the PC in a while. So
Right. Right. I mean, yeah, I've been sitting back just watching a lot of sci-fi, and I keep forgetting that there's one I've been wanting to watch, and I'm about to start watching it again. There's a few things I want to on this other show that I've been watching. So once I get that information, once I get some information, and I get the full concept of what they were doing on the show, then I'm gonna move over and watch this other show that's been around for a very long time, and I want to sit back and watch all the old series and really explore what this website that I have on my Roku. But I know you guys don't want to hear about that. You guys came to hear about our opinions about some of the news that we've been hearing. Now, a lot of this stuff is just things that that's been passing around. And I feel that we should give our opinions about it and possibly talk about a few other things that's going on, especially what's going on in the comic sector. I truly do need to sit down and literally read some. Basically, I should start reading the some of the Batman stuff and then catching up on some Superman, even though I know Bendis is destroying it left and right. He's just absolute garbage on
yeah,
it.
I just want to read all the stuff that Schneider and Capullo have been
Yeah,
putting out lately, and
the
you know,
what was it, Dan Jurgens? Yeah, I think Dan Jurgens. Dan Jurgens did a phenomenal job with Superman before Bendis showed up. Now, I'm not putting down Bendis. Bendis gave us some really good Spider-Man, but that's on Marvel side, and you can't really
the
mess up
DC is a
Spider-Man.
whole
Yeah,
another
yeah, it's a
spectrum.
different
Like
animal. It's a different animal. So for me, you really can't mess up Spider-Man, but there's been two guys that really messed up Spider-Man, and one of them
Mhm.
was Dan Slott. Dan Slott wrote Spider-Man really well at the very beginning, but
Oh,
when
what,
he
was that
but
the anorectic Spider-Man?
no, he was the one who had the great idea to do the Doc Ock Spider-Man switcheroo
Oh,
and do the
yeah,
Superior Spider-Man stuff.
I can't
He
stand him. I can't
yeah,
stand him.
yeah,
I'm
Dan
like,
Slott was a moron for doing that. In my personal opinion, it was an interesting
no, I
take.
agree. I agree.
Yeah,
And I didn't find it interesting. I found it very annoying.
yeah, I no, I agree. I found it an interesting thing to do with Doc Ock and Peter, but it was
But
the wrong. It was honestly the wrong time to do it. It was truly the
not
wrong
just
wrong time to
that,
do
but
it.
the people that he interacts with alone, right?
Yeah.
just completely. The fact of the Fantastic Four, and they treat him like he's a, their own blood. You got Doctor Strange who deals with this kid all the time.
Yeah.
You're telling me he's not going to interact with them at all during this time? Come
Yeah.
on.
Well, the other
Like, there's
thing,
no way. They
the,
figured out, like, you're not Peter, and
yeah,
we're going to figure out who you are.
the one thing that really made me go, okay, something's wrong here, and Dan Slott's logic made absolutely no sense. If Doc Ock slash Peter went anywhere near against Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange would have saw his aura different. He'd be like, hey, wait a minute, you're
Yep.
not Peter. You are not
Call
Peter.
Ghost Rider.
That's
He's
it.
like, hey, come here.
He would have knew. He would have knew. There is
He would have called
nothing.
Ghost Rider. Like,
Yeah.
we need to talk.
Yeah, there'd have been
Something's wrong.
nothing. Yeah, there'd have been no way Doc Ock would have fooled Doctor Strange because everyone's aura is different. Everyone has different aura, dependable on situation and growth and everything else. But
And he'd
Peter's
be like, oh,
aura
you're
is
all
unique.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Who are
Peter's
you?
aura is very unique. It's very unique. That's why he knows that
Bro.
Peter
It's a
has a very
keystone.
yeah, he's a keystone. There's something unique about Peter's aura. But if his aura
He,
completely changed into something else, then he's like, hey, wait a minute, you're not Peter. It's the same thing for the clones. If Doc
yeah,
Ock,
you
I mean,
don't
no,
have that platinum shine. You mean the Jackal
yeah. So
when he clones?
if Doctor Strange met Ben Riley, he knew that's not Peter. If he met Kane, who looks like Peter grown up but more muscular, he knew right off the bat that's not Peter. Just by looking at his aura, not looking at him, but looking at his aura, because he always
Yeah.
sees people's aura. He would have knew. He'd be like, wait a
He's,
minute, you're not
he's a
you're
freaking
not who you are.
bodybuilder, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
that is
freaking
fucking huge.
yoked, dude. So
He's
I
like, how
mean,
you pooping? I climb up walls. Okay.
right?
No, it's part
So
of the other guys.
right. So
Coney.
so I completely disagree with some people saying that it was one of the best Spider-Man stories. I
No,
don't
it
think
was
so.
not.
It
It
was
was
weird
not.
because it wasn't Spider-Man. That was that was Doc Ock. Now,
Well, if you say best stories, we just mentioned one of them. The situation with the Jackal and the
yeah,
clones and
yeah,
all the things that he had to deal with.
yep,
Maximum Carnage, one
yep,
of the biggest,
biggest.
best stories that was ever done.
And if you
Secret
read,
Wars is a
um,
huge
yeah, the
factor of
first
his
Secret
life.
Wars, because there was so many
The
Secret
second
Wars.
one, he was
Eh,
a part of the second one, but the first one was a huge part.
yeah,
Why? Because it was the first time he showed up in what? The black outfit.
yep. And
So what the hell?
what was another one? Oh, one of the biggest stories that was it was pivotal throughout all of Marvel, but Peter was the biggest portion of it, and it was Inferno. Peter was the
Yeah.
biggest portion of it because if it wasn't for Peter,
Yeah.
Mephisto would have won. That's so
He
funny.
hates him. He
Yeah, he
hates
hates him
him.
so much.
He's like, you bastard.
You
As soon as you
stupid
mentioned it, bro, I
fuck.
was like, Crystal was pissed. Like,
Hmm.
I could have had this whole place to myself, and
So
you,
yeah, ruined it.
smart ass bastard. Yeah, that's funny.
So
That was a good story.
it was a great story. Um, so uh, to me, Dan Slott did a really massive disservice all the way up to his 700th book. Because that whole Spider-Man thing when Doc Ock and him switched, that was the 700th issue of Spider-Man,
Trash.
and it was total trash. And I
Someone
was like,
gave
"Are
me
you
that
kidding?"
book. I'll start a fire with it
Yeah, right. No,
during the
I'll,
winter days.
no, man. I'll use it. I'll use it as toilet paper. I'll use it as toilet paper. Wipe my
Nah, I
butt
like
with
my
it.
body. I'm not trying to get paper clips down below. You just letting this guy just do more damage to you. Come on, man. Mental, now physical? Nah, burn it. Can't even tell you.
You see a demon come out of it. So,
Scratch. Number don't
all right.
Why am I leaving?
Right. All right. So now for DC, you guys have probably heard a little bit of the stories because I think we talked about it a little bit of it that they're still trying to work some deal with Ben Affleck for him to come back as this version's Batman. Um, I, Hawk said Hawk said it. Hell yeah, bring him back. We don't care. I'm saying the same thing. Hell yeah, bring him back. Who cares? Um, if you guys want Robert Pattinson, it won't work.
Mm.
It won't work. I'm sorry. It will not work. It will not work. It won't make any sense.
Why did you just get Joseph Gordon-Levitt, man? Then I would have watched it. I would have
Yeah,
watched it.
and
Uh,
I'd have been fine with Jorson Gordon-Levitt. I would be fine with him being the a younger version of him, told in a
No,
different
not
way,
just that, but you could tell the story differently where it was like he was Dick Grayson taking over because Batman wasn't around.
right?
What? Because he did
Right?
that a few times.
Yeah,
So come on now.
I know. And I've said it before and I say it again. We should just wait. It's great rumors that this is happening. AT&T and Warner's want to do this. Um, here's how I truly do see it. They saw this cut. They saw this cut probably months ago. They saw the Snyder cut months ago. Now there's rumors talking about that Snyder is getting more money um, other than 30 million to actually extend this movie out to tell everything he ever wants to tell. That's why he's giving that. That's why they're using the HBO Max platform. It's probably going to be episodic. I don't want it to be episodic. I'd rather for you to just give us a miniseries. Just give us a miniseries. 2, 3 movies. Done. It's done. And bring the people back. I think 2 movies would be great over a two night. I think that will get a lot of people on HBO Max, and then a few other things that if Snyder wants to tell, and when, and it will be. We all know it will be. It will be massively a massive success for HBO Max. I'll get a lot of people onto there. On top of the fact that there's more content coming out, and that will get people really really into it, and I'm very happy with that. But this Snyder cut, in my personal opinion, is pivotal. It truly is pivotal if Ben is going to want to come back. And I'm not saying that he won't. I'm thinking that he wants to see how everything's going to unfold. I think the best thing for them to really get people hyped up is just announce that they're going to keep Henry Cavill. Just announce it. Just say, nope, Henry Cavill is our Superman. We're just gonna figure out a story for him, and slowly move forward. And I
Yeah,
personally believe. Well, go ahead, man.
seriously, like there's no reason to not keep them.
Yeah,
It's retarded to just give up on them and that's it.
yeah.
Like why?
Why?
That's not right. A lot of people like them. Like no matter how many haters you got, a lot of people like them as
The Justice League.
the iconic characters that they ended up playing,
Yeah.
minus Wonder Woman, because there's better actresses out there that would have got fit to play that. So again, like I feel just like Robert Patterson. You're lazy. You didn't want to get in shape. Got it. So I don't give you. You're just a temporary step to until somebody becomes the actual character because you're not really Wonder Woman in my eyes because you didn't want to get in the shape needed to play that character. So you were talking about your modeling career, all this other BS, and then meanwhile you got Sparkle Man, fucking crying about getting in shape because he's lazy. That guy has a weird shaped body, man. Like
I know.
that dude should not. He should have just got in shape and shut up. Oh man, you could have got Daniel Radcliffe, Henry Potter. He would have gotten in shape. He would have definitely gotten in shape. You want me to play Batman? Wow. And here I thought I was just Harry.
Right.
Like he would have did it. He would like I'm gonna get in shape.
Yep.
Screw that. I'm getting into shape. I mean, I was riding the coattails of Harry Potter, but he got in a little bit of shape with Guns Akimbo.
Right.
And, not really like spectacular shape, but just a little bit better, so he could get away with some of the physical stuff that he had to do, which wasn't a lot.
Right.
But you don't think he would? No,
I think
look
it
at
was.
Keanu Reeves, right? What is he, 55, 56 now?
Yeah.
He's not in phenomenal shape. He's not. But he is in fighting shape. There's a
Yeah.
difference, people. There's a huge difference. Being in fighting shape and being in actual physical shape are not the same thing. It's
No.
confusing. Yes, I know. It's like people who work out, like myself, to get stronger, but not get that pretty muscle of the bodybuilders who want to do shows. Now, bodybuilders who want to do shows, yes, they're strong, but they're not going to be as strong as somebody who just wants to be strong and
Right.
not look like they do. And that was very deceiving for being a bouncer the way I was. My friend told me your looks are very deceiving. Yes, you do look like you could smack the crap out of somebody, but when you take off your suit jacket, it scares the crap out of everybody because you're way bigger than we thought you were. And you're sitting there slamming people through tables and throwing them across the room. Meanwhile, the other guys are going, whoa, what the, there was only a few times I ran into other bouncers that were in shape like myself that just wanted to be strong just to smack people around and get home safely.
Right.
And then there's people who have pretty muscle who didn't
Right.
know how to fight, who ended up being a way back. Somebody who sat in the back, hiding in the corner, hoping that the ones who are used to fighting get rid of the people. That's the difference between uh, being in fighting shape and being in pretty muscle shape. Fighting
Right.
shape is what Keanu is. He's got a lot of cardio down, he's got the reflex needed for it, but he doesn't have that pretty muscle look.
Yeah.
Doesn't need it, like with judo and Brazilian jiu jitsu that he learned and the kung fu that he learned. You don't need to be super muscular for those martial arts. You can have a lot of power. It's all about technique.
Right.
So he doesn't need to be in like stupid muscular shape. With all the martial arts that he learned, it's all technique. And being a gunfighter, because he's a legit gunfighter if you really watch him. And now he's a comic book icon too, with John Wick on top of that. Besides Bill and Ted, because there's a couple comics made with Bill and Ted as well.
Yeah.
He, dude, like this guy is infamous. He is infamous. He is beyond famous. He surpassed that when he did Bill and Ted. He had toys made from him, video games, all this stuff. Then The Matrix came out. Same thing happened, and comic books and stuff like that. This dude is infamous. He is beloved around the world. No matter what anybody said, it's like, oh, well, John Wick revitalized his career. Nah, it just opened another infamy for him. It really did.
Yeah.
Because with Bill and Ted, he was already known around the world. People are not going to still push him aside, be like, oh, well, he's making another B movie. Yeah, have you seen some of the B movies? They're great. The only time he got in pretty decent shape is when he did Street Kings. When he was the
Okay.
cop going around executing people. I don't know if you ever seen that movie. That movie is great, which segued into him using the gunfighting skills that he has. So then it translated into John Wick years later. But Street
Mhm.
Kings is amazing. That's a great movie. Like you wanted a sequel with him. They made sequels, and you're like, why? Why? Like I get that it went to video, but come
Oh,
on, you guys could have
it was
waited.
a VOD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, this is terrible. Like, you guys could have just waited. And Ray Liotta was in it. And
Oh
I'm like,
wow.
look, man, I like Ray Liotta, but only in the mafia movies back in the 80s and 90s.
Right.
I, I didn't really see him in movies that I liked outside of that.
Okay.
I never saw him as a good guy.
No.
There's Harvey Cartel, right? Or
Yeah.
Keitel. It's not Italian. The people think he's Italian. He's not Italian. I think he's is he Armenian?
Yeah. I think he's Armenian.
Or Armenian or Albanian.
Yeah.
It's one of those two. It's one of those two. And he's from New York and everything like that. But he could play a tough cop. He could play a mafioso.
Yeah.
He does it pretty well. So he's kind of believable as both. You
Yeah.
don't believe it.
It's like Dennis Farina.
Yeah, well, he was an actual cop in
So yeah,
Chicago
he was
for
actually
20
a Chicago
years.
cop,
Then
but
he became an actor later. But yes,
yeah.
he played a lot of mobsters, which was kind of funny
Kind
being
of
the
funny,
fact that
but he knew what he was talking about. When he talked, you knew he was
because he
talking
was
about
legitimate
it. He was a legitimate
detective. He
cop.
would
Yeah.
talk to these people all the time. So he's like,
Hmm.
"Yeah, I can play that. You want me to play that? I'll play that for you. No problem. What do you want
No,
me to
not a
do?"
problem. And he's
Yeah,
smiling at you, like, no, not a problem.
yeah. Like in Snatch. Yeah, what was it? Snatch?
Yeah.
Was it Snatch? Yeah, yeah. It
Yeah.
was. No, Lock, Stock. No, yeah, it was Snatch. It was Snatch. The diamond
Hmm.
one was Snatch.
Hmm.
So yeah, he was in that. It was funny, man. And then he uh he was funny in what's the movie with Travolta? Get Shorty, right?
Yeah, get Shorty.
Yeah, that was funny too.
He was funny
So
as
he
hell in
knew
that
how to
movie,
do
dude.
comedies and stuff. This is the guy who was a cop
Hmm.
playing a bad guy all the time, and then once in a while he'll play a cop
Yep.
just for nostalgia's sake. He played a cop once in a while.
Hmm.
Like I think he played one in a Jennifer Lopez movie.
Yeah, I think
He
she
was
did.
like he
I
was a
think he,
cop, but he was kind
he
of
was. Yeah, he was
crappy,
a detective. I think he was a detective.
Yeah,
Okay.
but he was a crappy person. Like
Yeah.
it's like,
He,
oh wow,
he,
man, you were a
he,
great cop in real life, and then you're playing these crappy people. Like, what the hell?
right. All
But
right.
yeah, I mean that's a little tangent off to the side. Well, but what I'm saying is there were other actors that would easily said yes to these roles, that would have easily gotten shaped for these roles, that are not fugly, that are most likely better looking than the people that have in the world currently. So I'll keep Ben, I'll keep Jason, and I'll keep Henry, and I'll keep man, what's the Flash kid's name?
Ezra. Ezra
Ezra.
Miller.
Yeah, I'll keep him, and then Fisher. You know, he's not bad, but I just don't like Cyborg as a character. And
Yeah.
yes, he
I mean,
became the youngest Justice League member in the '80s, whatever, blah blah blah. I just don't like that character because he's a ticking time bomb all the time, all the time. He is made from the villain's technology that can be controlled by the main villain. Like, really? Like, this dude, his mental capacity is not going to surpass the villain over time. He is going to fall. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. His human part of himself is disappearing. Every generation of comics, he's disappearing. So eventually, he will become Grid. Remember when that got split into like the bad
hmm, yeah. Right.
villain version and the good version?
Hmm.
Eventually, he will become that, and that's it. That's it. No more. He's gone. Nothing you can
Um.
do. No more cyborg.
That I agree. My whole thing is that he was created during the black exploitation situation. He was like late the 80s. He was 80s.
No, it was 1980, the
Yeah.
year that you and I came into existence.
Yeah. Right. Right.
And this was the superhero that we got. Damn.
So
It's one that we don't like. Like, oh come on, man.
so so the thing I don't like about Cyborg is he became a one word wonder, and I felt that there's a
No,
lot more. Yeah, there's a lot more
yeah.
to the
Like,
character,
but
and
maybe
I'm
that's why I
like,
ended up hating him.
I'm going. You got a teenage boy who basically got grafted with all this technology because his dad refused for him to die, basically.
And he knew how
And
to fix himself.
yeah, he knew how to fix himself, and they're showing that Victor is actually as smart or even sometimes smarter than his own father. And his father's not a stupid idiot. His dad is
They made
freaking. He's a
so
genius.
dumb. You're right. They made Cyborg, so maybe that's why I hate him because he acted so dumb for a guy that knew how to fix himself.
Yeah. So, and I understand that he was part of Teen Titans, and they wanted to kind of do this teenage angst, but
But he was the smartest one though, next
yeah,
to
next to
Robin.
next to Dick, and then after Richard, it was probably Beast Boy, Beast Boy
The Beast
or
Boy was like hard
he's been
smart.
around. Yeah, he
Well,
there's
he's
a lot of
old.
situation. He's old as hell, but the thing is
He
that
just doesn't. He's immortal.
yeah,
So it's
pretty
like there
much.
you go.
So I'm sitting here going, this character, there's a lot of potential with this character, but I think that they kind of wasted it with some of those really deep rooted stories so early, and that if they try to retell it now, it's gonna feel like they're just
The
they're
pandering.
no, well, not that. It's more of the fact of they're not honoring the original person who wrote it. They're trying to make it into their own story. which I
Well,
felt that. So I mean, there were times I kind of wish that um he was with the Teen Titans and he betrayed them. He semi pulled a Batman, like he
well,
was
he's
putting
done
us.
it several times though. Even in
Yeah,
the injustice part of things, he's done it. He betrayed him a few times. So
yeah.
that's
So
what
I
I'm
got.
saying, dude. Like he's volatile. Like he's not worth keeping if he's gonna constantly do that.
Well, the same can say about Batman, but Batman's
Well,
Batman.
no, no. Well, Batman, there's a deep-rooted reason why.
No, 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 no.
To
Like I said,
save people.
no,
Cyborg wasn't to
I
save
understand.
people.
I understand
He
that,
lost his
but
mind.
I know. But the thing is that anybody can throw that in there and say, well, the same thing we said about Batman. We can both say, no, Batman did it because of there's a reasoning why, and he does it for the pure reason of he's just a mortal squishy man versus people that can actually one dude can run so fast he can run his skin off. The other one can see it from anywhere on the planet, hear his heartbeat and be there within a few seconds. The other one can
Yep,
outfight
scary.
him. The other one can outfight him, and she's stronger than him. And the other one can make anything he wants to out of a Cracker Jack ring. I think he
And
should.
right,
So f that.
and on top of that, the one that can outfight him over time if she wanted to, but she'd rather have his babies. So that's why she doesn't do it. Which is true. Like if you guys don't know, she fell in love with him first,
Yep.
and he said, I can't." Can you imagine the kid they would have had?
Oh,
Bro.
Lord. Sheesh.
What?
Yeah,
Like,
and people were wondering, oh, why can't Wonder Woman be around Superman? I go, well, here's the thing: you got to realize that Diana was raised as a Greek warrior. She has Greek beliefs. She would look at Superman as a god. She would not look at him as a man. She would see him as a
yeah,
god. So,
she looks at Batman as a
as an
true knight, a
Adonis,
true warrior,
an
like a
Adonis.
guy that is made for her.
Yeah.
She truly wants him, but
If
she
you
can't
read
have him. So the second choice was
Superman,
like, yeah, and the third choice is Aquaman.
or
She's
Steve
just
Trevor if he's around, or Steve Trevor if he's around.
her original.
Yeah, the original.
The
She fell in
original
love with a
with
mortal man. She did not fall in love with a
uh
with a god. She never fell in
yeah,
love with a god. She fell in love first with a mortal man because
he was brave.
because he showed her that men can be just as honorable as she's always seen and won't treat her like just as this helpless woman. He allowed
Hmm.
her. She did whatever he wanted and he backed her up. But what she saw in Batman is that this man is so selfless. He's willing to give up his happiness just to make sure that the city and the world will always rotate around. And people are like, well, why doesn't Superman? I'll go, well, there's Lois. And Lois is not a hag. Lois Lane is beautiful. She's a very beautiful woman. She's not
Hmm.
a hag. Okay, don't think
Sometimes
that.
they draw it that way, which is
Yeah,
very terrible.
it's very weird. But she's not ugly. She's actually very, very beautiful. And and if you really want to get down to the real cusp of everything, Lois is the representation of his mother Laura because Laura looks like freaking Lois. Flat.
Hmm. Hmm.
His mother Laura looks almost like
Which is,
Lois. It's
I'm gonna
kind
get
of
a little
weird.
racist with this. I mean, I'm mixed, but still, I'm gonna get a little racist with this. That's a white people thing, bro. You're gonna fall in love with the person just like your mother or father. The fuck I am, like, like not me, dude. Cause like I married a woman completely opposite. She's from the islands, like just nothing like my mother. Why? Because my mother is a volatile person. Why? Sigmund, white dude from Austria, says that you want to have sex with your mother, like, okay, that's a white person incest thing, man, because Spanish people usually don't do that. They usually go after somebody that's not in their bloodline, you weirdo. Like, what? Like, please. This is why you shouldn't go to a psychiatrist, because it's the guy's theory that stayed around for a very long time. It's disgusting. That's a complete look at Game of Thrones. White man
Ah,
writes it, lots of
I
incest in
know.
it. Like, ugh,
Okay, okay.
ugh, come on,
So,
man.
all
Like,
right.
stop it, people, stop it.
um, um. So with Superman, um, Lana, Lana. No, no, no. I was trying to remember where I was at before you went on your tangent.
Yeah, because it's like, ugh.
So Lana Lang. If you really think about it, she's like a sister to him. They dated, but she wasn't the person for him. She truly wasn't the
No,
person for him.
because she was always like off in the distance, you know, like always off in the distance, always wanting to do something else, even
Well,
though
no, well, no, well, no,
she had him.
well, it's more in the fact is like I said. I think that they the way they made them, they're so friendly and so like a brother and sister act. I think that deep down, Clark was like he doesn't see anything further with that. He sees more of a friendship. That's why Lois always challenges him and always makes him grounded. That's the thing that Superman needs. He needs to feel grounded. He needs to feel like a man, not Superman. He needs to feel like a man. And
But
everyone's
that's what
big.
she does. She treats him like a human.
Yeah, she treats him like a regular person. When she first meets him, of course, she falls in love with Superman, this guy that can do all this stuff and blah blah blah. But when
Well,
she
the
found out that he
boy.
was, yeah, but when she found out that he's Clark Kent, she's like, the first thing in her mind is, why the hell does he want to be Clark Kent? And then she realized, oh, he wants to feel like a regular person, and that's what made her truly fall in love with him, not the ideal of Superman, but the man. And that's why she fell in love with him. That's why she has this kid with him. That's why she's married to him. And every time when Superman has this, when he feels the weight of the world on his shoulders, what's the first thing Lois do? She gives him that grounded advice that his mother would have given or his father would have given. That made him feel like, oh, okay, all right. And that's how he feels around Lois. Lana is a great friend. She will give him great advice and everything else, but he knows that they're just friends, and I think that's great for him.
Well, she
But
gave some bad advice before, though.
yeah, she did. She gives us a couple of bad pieces of advice.
You're
Yeah.
like, you really want to kill people with this guy, don't you?
All right.
Come on, man. Everyone's
So,
vengeance. Like, oh, it's Macbeth.
so
Like, we're not
yeah,
doing that.
so with Wonder Woman, I felt that the people that really wanted the Wonder Woman and Superman relationship, I think that they don't understand Wonder Woman. You do not
That's the
understand Wonder
worst.
Woman.
That's
That's
the
the worst
worst. That's
pairing.
worse than kryptonite.
Yeah, that's the
Man,
worst pairing. And the
if you
and you
want Batman and her to have a kid, and Batman is her ground, basically. If he ended up with her, that's her ground. She'll
pretty much
never think like the gods. She would think like a warrior, but also she would want to be a parent because why? He's human and he wants the kid to be human, even though they're not. But
right.
to be able to interact with people and fight crime, because you know the kid's gonna fight crime regardless. I've seen one of his kids fight crime. He would
Right.
want this for his kid. If he had a kid with her, he would want that no matter what. He would make sure they're smart. They had all the education that he had, but better because they have more physical capabilities. So he would have them learn. He would call Lady Shiva or Richard. Hey, please train my kid. I need my kid to be better than me. So when one day I'm not around, my kid will be here.
Mm.
That's what he would want. He would make it in a way. He would call Zatanna, and the kid will learn how to escape and possibly learn magic, proper magic. You know, so that way it's not dangerous, not that Cersei
Mm.
garbage. Like he would place this kid in a way where you would never have to worry about the kid turning on the human race ever. They would
Mm.
never feel like they're a god, even though they have
They're still
supernatural ability.
they would still be because of the way they did Wonder Woman now, which I don't like, but whatever. It would they would still
I
be
wanted the Odyssey one. I didn't want this one. I wanted the Odyssey one.
that's the one I
And I
wanted.
know we mentioned the Odyssey one before, but you guys don't understand. She was
That one,
grounded. She
yeah,
was grounded, man, and she was like this phenomenal hero,
yep,
selfless, didn't think like I'm a god, you're beneath me attitude. that we got with this new one. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I don't want it.
um, the one thing about her is she was a warrior. She was a warrior. She see
With the leather
if she's a
jacket.
monster,
Yeah.
if she sees a monster running through town and there's a little girl crying because she can't find her mother, the first
She
thing she's
saves
gonna
the
do
kid.
is she will grab the kid, get
Yeah.
it out of the way, and cut that
And
monster's head
then
off.
kill the monster. Yeah. Not this current one though. Monster
Nope.
first. Kid died. Oh, that's okay. It's a casualty. What? Collateral damage, people. Collateral damage. Oh my
Or
god. See you
or
later. Like, oh,
or she'll save the kid and worry about all the other people and let the monster keep rampaging. Sometimes she'll do
which
that,
is also dumb.
which is also dumb. She won't do that. A
But the
woman will be
Odyssey
like,
version though would
get rid of the
never
monster.
happen.
Nope. She would actually she'll try to do both at the same time.
Hmm.
She'll try to do
But
both at the same time.
priority, save the child first.
Yep.
Then monster.
Yep. She will never allow monsters to rampage in a city.
Yeah.
She will never
She
allow
went
it.
on a big ass journey to save her people because of
Mm-hmm.
all the stuff that was going on, and it's like
God, I love that
a
book.
apocalyptic situation that they ended up in, and
Yep.
her going through a vision quest in the same time while
Yep.
she was trying to save everybody. That was nuts. Like
Yep.
this chick had no breaks, just no
Nope.
breaks. It was like
Nope.
you're going on a vision quest, but
Yeah. I'm trying to do this first. No,
Oracle,
you do it all. It's
Oracle
like,
says you must have
wow.
a vision quest, but I'm trying to save these children and these people. Like, nope, vision quest. Oh, well, damn.
Right?
Like there was
Oh my
too much
god.
going on
There's
in
so
that
much going on.
version,
Yeah. No, I
and they
agree.
didn't even get to keep that version though. That was it. That was it. I
Hmm.
just don't understand why. Just bring that version back. I want that version back because then that would be an amazing fit for the Justice League then. Because Batman would even, ooh, that would be the one that Batman should have a kid with. That particular version. That would be cool. Because that particular version is so grounded that she's not going to feel like people are beneath her. She doesn't do that. She's like, you have a human child that needs to be saved, no problem.
Yep.
That just, not this version though. Ugh.
Mm.
Your kid is where? Ah, it's all right. Let the cops deal with it. Huh?
He said,
What?
huh? Huh?
I thought you were a hero. I am. Just not that type of hero. You're kind of anti-hero, aren't you? Your kid could die. It's like you do fucking
Well,
Drago. If he
the
dies, he
if he
dies.
dies, if he dies, he dies.
It's like, wow.
No,
Oh
no, no,
yes,
no, no. She'll say
Odyssey.
no,
People
no.
read it.
She would say, it's the will of the gods. The will of the what?
I
Say.
believe in one God, lady. Don't you see this church?
Right.
One God, one God. Not the zillion that you believe in. Jeez. Like,
So,
you got this many gods and this many devils and demons. Huh?
yeah, right.
Like,
Sheesh.
you're too complicated, lady. Go away. Where's Batman? Give me
So,
Green Lantern. Like, anybody but you.
yeah, they need to retool Wonder Woman. They
That's the
need to retool.
woman we got in movies right now, man. That's how I feel. I want an Odyssey one, but I got the flub. I'm like, great. Terrible. It's like, I don't want this version.
So,
Damn it.
all right. So, back to Ben. We gotta get back to Ben.
Tangent.
Yeah, tangents. Gotta love it. But yeah. So I'm really hoping that if he does come back, they leave him alone, let him do his story. And I know we talked about this before. I
And he's still
personally,
in shape too, though.
yeah, he can,
Especially
no, no, he can get
with
himself back in
his new
shape.
girlfriend.
Yeah, he can get himself
Yeah.
back in massive shape. He can if he really wants to.
He never
So,
got out of shape. It's just now he's still more
well, he
physically
kind,
in
well,
shape now because he's
well, he
been with
kind
his
of did
girl.
it in Justice League because you can see he had a gut. He didn't. He looked
Yeah, but
more
he wasn't with his new girlfriend though. Now, like,
right.
people look at the news and stuff that's going on with him and his new girl. He's in
Hmm.
better shape now. He's happy. Like you can tell it's genuinely like, yes, I'm very happy right now. That with Batman now that we're gonna get is gonna be phenomenal.
Right. But again,
Should make her Catwoman on top of that.
no. No,
A Spanish.
no. I wouldn't get her. No, I wouldn't get her.
I'm just
I
playing,
would
man.
say,
Like
I know,
they say,
I know.
don't work with the person that you're dating. They say
Yeah,
that.
it just doesn't work that well. No, no. If you want honest opinion, go get Monica Baccarin. She's around the same age. It doesn't look like it's gonna look weird. Like he's basically
Right.
screwing a chick in the carriage. And on top of
So
that, Monica
anybody
Baccarin
who's
is beautiful as hell.
yeah, so anybody who doesn't know who this person is, she was in Firefly. She was in V, but she had short hair, which was not right. And then Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the shows you should look at. And then Gotham, she was supposedly supposed to be the wife of Jim Gordon over time.
Mm-hmm.
But and well, she's his wife in real life though.
Yeah, they're married in real life
But yes, if you want to
and
look
have a
it up,
kid.
I think they're gonna have two kids or something like
Yeah,
that.
they have two kids.
But she said to him in a joke, "You could have had me in my prime during the OC because he was in the OC, and she
Yep.
ended up on the show, and she wanted to date him then, and he just blew her off. I'm like, wow, you're lucky you got a second chance, my dude.
No, right? Wow.
Somebody could have squeaked in and just said, "You're lost, my
Sucker.
dude."
You say, sucker. Wow.
Dumbass.
You're a dumbass. Yeah, right.
So yeah, she said that joke, and he's like, "I did that." She was like, "Oh yeah, you did." You know, she has resentment
Yeah,
when
right.
she's mentioning that. Oh, you married me now, but we could have had kids then. You screwball. Like, oh man, that was funny. I can't. She said that in an interview with him sitting next to her, and he was like, "Damn, I almost missed out."
Right.
And her saying "in my prime" was funny because I was like, "Huh? Like,
What? Yeah, right.
like you didn't have kids then, right? No, then you're fine."
Yeah, right. Sheesh. So, uh, if in my personal, I think we talked. Yeah, we did talk about this. So, like, if Ben does come back, I want him to do that whole Deathstroke story. Just do
Oh
that whole.
yeah, that poster you showed me by
Yeah,
made by Ben. That's an interesting poster.
it's a very interesting poster, and it shows Batman on one side and it shows Deathstroke on the other,
Yeah,
and it was really well done. I think that
and
somebody
the Joker in a reflection of Deathstroke's eye.
that was cool.
Yeah,
That was cool.
small details. We should put that poster link up, and hopefully the poster stays up. But put or get
Yeah,
the image link and post it up so people could check it out.
yeah. Send me the link and I'll on Facebook Messenger and I'll link that into down in the description so people could check that out. If you guys have not seen it, and
Well, the link's already in Messenger. You just gotta grab
okay,
it from
all
there.
right, I'll grab it from there then. So there's a lot of stuff there, and on top of that, if they get back to that, then it gets people back in interest for Joe Maniello's Deathstroke. I want that movie.
You
I
know,
want that freaking movie, man.
I want
Go
to go
get.
on another. Sorry, bro. I
No,
just
go
want
ahead.
to go. Every time you mention Joe, dude's so awesome.
All right.
Like, I just want to do a side track. I don't know if you heard this, right?
Hmm.
So, you heard that show, Critical Role, with the
Yeah, I
D and
heard it.
D thing, and
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah,
they
yeah,
have
yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so they have Vin Diesel and a couple actors on it, but the most legendary thing that ever happened on that show, and they were battling Vecna. Anybody
Okay.
who plays D&D, you know who you obviously know who that is, and he has that
Hmm.
necrotic hand and stuff like that. And
Yep.
so I'm like, Vecna's cool, man. He's like this weird demon dragon warlock thing that's related to Tiamat. That
Yeah.
was her brother, I believe. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. So his character is helping them defeat Vecna and all this stuff, right? And one
Hmm.
of the characters dies, and he does this time wait, and he looks around and he's like, I call out a prayer to Tiamat. I cut off my hand. I take Vecna's hand. I put a heel pole and I disappear. I'm out. It's just business. I was like, oh, most legendary thing ever, dude. He steals the hand of Vecna from right under them, disappears, and it became freaking canon in D&D now. What he did it so legendary that he became his character is canon. His character is now a part of the story. So that happens. So he comes in as an NPC now, and what they're saying now is that his character, I think it's the Arcana, is what he calls it. He is canon now, and now he is a servant of Tiamat because he's an Oathbreaker paladin. Dude is
Oh,
legend. The dude is legend. I'm like, yo, I had to say nerd out for a little bit, but yeah, that
he's
was
an oath
awesome.
breaking paladin. Oh wow, that's
Yes,
powerful
he
as hell,
takes his
dude.
own hand off, gets Vecna's hand, which I think is the left hand, which is perfect. Does a heel pull to pull it in, and then bam, gone. I'm like, legend. This
Right?
dude became a legend. No one ever has done that, and he did it on a TV show based on playing D&D, and he did something so legendary that everybody was like, I don't know what to do. I'm so done. D&D with the company that owns it were like, you are now canon. What else are you gonna say? I mean, he works for the company now, doesn't he?
I think he's in
Like,
conjunction with them. I don't think he works for
yeah,
him.
I think he does. I think he works with them on the side,
Yeah, he
like
works
as a
with them. Yeah.
yeah. So, but now with that character situation that he did, he's a legend. He is now a villain in the pantheon of villains of D&D. That's awesome. So now him being Deathstroke, imagine the story that he wrote.
Right.
If he just did that on the fly.
Well, I mean, Gareth Edwards said that he wrote a
An
screenplay,
amazing, yeah,
an
but I
amazing
mean,
screenplay. So I mean, if
but
he got
D&D
the
was on the
help,
fly. So
yeah,
imagine what his actual story was when he sat down and actually wrote it. People think of that. The dude did something so legendary in a D&D game that he became canon. Imagine the story he wrote for Deathstroke.
right.
Amazing. I want to read that script.
I want to sit down and read that script too.
But yeah, that's my
Damn.
little side thing I wanted you to hear about, dude, because that was
Yeah.
awesome.
No,
I'm
that is
like,
awesome. An oath breaking paladin. Holy God,
yeah, dude, that's
that's
amazing, dude.
that's
I was like,
amazing, dude.
I want to shake your hand, bro. Like that was
You
awesome.
broke an oath to your god to summon this other to be with this other god because you're like, I'm not dying. Screw you.
Oh wait, oh, not just that, but he's also a the what's the dragon race again?
Draconian?
Yeah, he's the dragon race.
Oh, as a paladin?
Yes.
Oh
So on
wow.
top of that, TMS is a five-headed dragon, people. She's not a
Yeah.
Hydra. She's a five-headed dragon, different powers and all that stuff. So yeah.
Oh my god.
On top of that, so his true god was Tiamat, because she's a dragon and he's a
Wow.
dragon person. So yeah, I
Oh
forgot to
wow.
mention that. It's extra
That is
bonus.
actually, yeah, it's a bonus. Wow.
Yeah,
So,
man.
um, I'm actually hoping that they work together, work in conjunction. I hope that Ben works with Joe, and they get really
Yeah,
good treatment,
fight it together.
get this out there, and also use that to bridge off for Deathstroke, so we get a Deathstroke movie. I hope that Joe does the screenplay and the some of the story treatments, but Gareth Edwards comes in, and again, if anybody knows who Gareth Edwards is, that's the guy who did the
Great.
raid. He did the raid 1 and the raid 2. So if there's any guy that you wanted to be a
And it's
gritty,
an indentation movie, by the
yeah,
way. It's a really, really amazing movie.
yeah,
I don't know how to pronounce the main actor's name though.
yeah,
I think it's like Iko,
yeah,
Iko. I think it's pronounced Iko.
uh-huh,
So he's a phenomenal martial artist. You
yeah,
obviously see it in the raid. His best friend is the crazy dude that with the long hair, and they
yep,
killed him with the light bulb. That's his
yep,
best friend. So
right,
it's just like, dude, what
right,
the like? You guys are awesome, and he helped him with that. And his best friend is a legit master of knife fighting. On
right.
top of that, so yeah, this movie's old. It came
Yeah,
out in 15 or something like that,
yeah,
or 14,
yeah, 14 or 15, and then the sequel
but
came
it's
out
great.
like a year later or something like that, or a couple of
And
years
the
later.
thing with sequels like this, it literally connected to the story. He didn't go off on a weird thing like the guy Matthew Vaughn, who messed up his own continuity and
Yep.
he wrote it. Like, idiot. You didn't have notes of what you did with the first book. Matter of fact, just watch your own movie, bro. obviously you went off a little too weird, but this guy literally connected it, and
Yeah,
it continues on from there.
yeah, and
So
that's the reason why I want Matt. That's why not Matt. No, not him. I mean Gareth Edwards to do this because he was in it. He was in it. He was like, "Oh, this is gonna be awesome." We already had the look of Deathstroke. He came in. He had the voice was perfect, and Joe took his time. He got himself in a little bit better shape because he's not in bad shape. He's in decent good shape. So he got himself in a little bit better shape just for that. And Zach knew what he wanted. So everyone go, no. Zach designed most of that stuff, and also not Joe, Ben helped with a lot of it because he exposed that in a video that we saw like about five, but right before Zach even left the project, we saw it was around Christmas time of the previous year of 2016. We saw the video of that, and it blew the whole internet. We're gonna see Deathstroke in this movie. I know Hawk was like, dude, I'm going, yeah, this movie's gonna be awesome. And then we got,
yeah,
oh man, we got so ripped off, man. We could have saw Deathstroke. And here's
I
the
can't
funny thing.
stand you, Judge. I never want to meet you.
No, I will punch that dude in the kidneys and walk away, dude.
I'm so angry with you. I could punch
Oh
him
my
in the stomach.
god.
Look at me, trust me.
Oh my god, dude, we could have
I
had
know where to
Deathstroke.
aim to hit your kidney in the front. I'm gonna punch you so hard in the stomach, your kidney's gonna blow out your back.
Right?
Houdini.
Damn. And we're not, and a lot of people when they say, "Oh, we're gonna get Deathstroke," they're not thinking that Deathstroke's gonna be in the whole freaking movie. Just the scenes that make sure that we know. Okay, a lot of us understood
behind the
that.
scenes. No,
Yeah,
none of it.
no, and the funny thing is that Lex at the end of BVS, Lex said right to Batman's face, they're not gonna charge me. I'm gonna go to a hospital. I'm gonna get away with this. I'll be out within a couple of years. Batman said, no, you're not. I'll take you to Arkham Asylum. His eyes went, say what? He went, I'm going where? He was like, oh no. He was scared to death.
He believed it. He believed it. He was like, well, shit.
Yeah, he was like, well, wow. He
No
got
granny PT for you, bro.
yeah, wow, man, he got robbed like we got robbed. He was like, he thought he was gonna get away with this whole thing. He's crazy. He's like, nope, you're gonna go to Arkham Asylum. They're waiting for you there. He's like, oh man, so he has no money. Yeah, right. He has practically no money. They have him. He basically has he's nailed to the wall. They have the viable proof that he did what he did, and he's going to one of the most highly restricted mental hospitals in the world. There is no it's just in Gotham. No, the world. When you say you're going to Arkham Asylum, you are afraid because you have to deal with the Joker. You have to deal with Penguin. Most time Penguin, sometimes Penguin, but not all the time. Two-Face, Mr. Freeze, no, I want to say her name. No, Poison. You're gonna deal with some of the worst supervillains, quite possibly in the world, and some of the most powerful.
Toymaker.
Sometimes Toymaker's in there. Yeah. You mean the ventriloquist?
No, he cut off.
Dollmaker. Yeah, Dollmaker. Dollmaker did it. And
dude. I say Toymaker for some reason, but yeah,
that's all right.
He cut off this dude's face.
He
the Joker's face.
Yeah, and the Joker told him to do it.
He's like, really no. It's like,
I'm sorry, but and I know we're using comic references, but it just shows how bad that place is, and on top of that, how much security there is for him to go. What the? So he had to go to that place. You're telling me this man did not make a phone call to say, okay, get me the hell out of here. Who can get me out of here? Well, there's one guy. You have to pay him a lot of money. Who? Well, his name is Slade Wilson. Slade Wilson. Yes, his name is Deathstroke. I like that name. Get me out. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Batman was
dealing. He kills you.
Yeah, and the thing, and people were wondering like, okay, how did this happen? This happened during the whole situation of Justice League. How we got out?
That's what we want to see, though. Like,
how
going in, taking out the guards, coming out here. He sends him on his way. He escapes. Slade finishes the job, covers everything up, and then meets up with them at the end of the credits.
Yeah. What?
Like, because he calls him again. Like,
Yeah,
hey, I need your help again. He's like, what do you want, Luther? Like they know each other already. Well,
yeah,
okay, when did this happen?
yeah. That's the whole
like,
thing.
like, huh? Like, what's going on? Like, he hates. Okay, in the comics, he hates Lex Luthor. He hates him. He hates him.
Yeah,
He can't stand him, but he pays him. So he's like, all right, fine.
yeah.
But there's certain jobs that Lex wants him to do. He's like, no, I'm not doing that. Get Deadshot. Even Deadshot is like Floyd's like, nah, nope. You want who? No, no. He was like, I went after him too many times, and I'm just lucky to be alive. His rule of
Right.
not killing people is very important to me, so I'm glad that he didn't kill me because he could have. Or his
Yeah.
son, Red Hood, who hates me too. I'm screwed. No, his son hates me. If I end up in that town and he finds out, his son could kill me. We're good.
We're good.
Like, we're not doing
So,
that.
so there's a lot there. I mean, there's a lot there just for Deathstroke, and it doesn't have to be like it's so permeated in the story. No, it's just here's what we. This is how Lex got out. That's all we want to know. How the hell did Lex get out of Arkham Asylum? He was
Yeah.
scared to death when he heard that he was going to Arkham Asylum. If this, if it shattered his confidence, like, oh, I'm gonna get away with this. They think I'm crazy, and I'm gonna get out of here. He's sitting there smiling like a Cheshire cat. And he says, "You're going to Arkham Asylum." He went, "What?" His eyes went, "What? I'm going where?" He's like, "You're going where?"
That's not a hospital. That's a dungeon.
That's not a hospital. Yeah, he's right. So that means that
Have you
he
guys
must have
played
been.
that game? That
Oh
thing is
God.
hard to get through.
Yeah. So if if he knew he was gonna go there, and he made a whole bunch of phone calls, then I would love to see how Deathstroke got in and got him the hell out of there. I
Yeah.
would love to see it.
Who was the
And
broker?
and
Who brokered that dude?
yeah, who brokered that whole situation?
Was it
And
Penguin? You know, like,
um,
well,
if you
Penguin.
really
Oh,
if you really want to make it big, I would say it could be anybody. It could be anybody. I wouldn't make. I wouldn't.
Another one.
You could do Black Mask, but like I said, I wouldn't make it one of the Batman villains because then it could be traced. They don't want nothing to do with they. You would think that Penguin or
No, can't do that because he's also.
yeah, uh, the Penguin and Black Mask, yeah, they can easily do it, but do they want to be in league with the guy that did that situation in
Nah,
Metropolis?
they're not stupid, dude. They're
No, they'll
not
be like,
stupid.
nope, I don't want nothing to do with that.
Because I
Let
was about to
the
say Vertigo, but then I was like, no, no.
Count
no,
Vertigo? No, he wouldn't. No, hell no.
He
No,
knows. Bruce knows him, and he's like, I'm gonna
no,
kill you.
no. Yeah, he'll break.
Ooh,
Oh
but
God,
you
no.
could do a proper Bane. It'll take a while to figure out it was Bane who did it. You know, like Bane's stupid smart.
He's stupid smart, but I would still say it's just it. I would say Lex with Lex knowing about the metagene and all the villains and people have
Or
superpowers.
make it
I,
Amanda Waller then.
I don't think I'm. Yeah. Well, no,
Yeah,
I don't
Amanda
think.
did like Lex. She
No,
did
no, no,
like
no, no, no.
Lex.
She did. No, no. I'm not saying that, but I don't think she would want to be associated or anywhere near the situation that happened with Lex.
I don't know, man. She's pretty crazy.
She is pretty crazy, but the thing, yeah, she is pretty stupid, especially with they did with her
Yes, she
Suicide Squad.
would.
She probably
She would.
would, if she knew she can get new funding.
And she would get it too. That's the thing. So yeah, she would. Oh, I get it. My Suicide Squad again. I promised you this amount of money. I'll call the right man for you. And
Mm,
what did Deathstroke do? He ran Suicide Squad for a while without the bomb in his neck
true.
because putting the bomb on him didn't mean anything. That dude's immoral. So it's like, huh? You're gonna what to me? Please, that's just gonna irritate me, and I'm gonna kill you. They're not gonna put a bomb in his neck. They never will. They're like, nah, you're gonna run the team? Sure, why not? Okay, shit, just pay me. No problem. We have you in prison. It's like it's not free, lady. Like that was his rule. You got to pay me, and I'll run it. You don't have to blow me up. Trust me, I'll get the job done.
Yeah, he'll
And
get the job done.
ran it for a long time.
Yeah, and the only other person that would definitely do it if you pay him or if you pay him enough too, but it really depends on the type of situation he's in. Is Bronze Tiger? Bronze Tiger's the only other person that will do it just as good as
Yeah,
Slade.
because he was former CIA on top of that too. So
Yeah,
yeah,
oh God, yeah. All right, hold on
He
one.
might do it himself.
True. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys that can actually get the job done and actually get Slade involved. Amanda could definitely do it, and I mean, we could throw a story out there and say that Slade was one of the original members of Task Force X before she said, nah, and got more villainous people that she can
But yeah, because
disposable
she's
people.
afraid of him, though. Like,
Well,
definitely
yeah,
afraid of him and Floyd. But with
yeah,
Floyd, she attached the bomb to him because she knows that it will work on him. With Slade, it wouldn't matter.
it wouldn't
It's like
matter,
you don't put it in because you're just going to irritate him and he will kill you, your family, your grandma, your grandpa, everybody, just
right?
for irritating him.
Just for irritating
Like,
him, yeah.
no. And you threaten one of his children, that's it. It's over. Your life, the generations in the past are going to feel it. Like, it's like
Yeah,
they're
right.
dead. They're going to feel it. Like, he will burn your bones of your ancestors just to make sure there's no chance of you magically coming back. This dude will be thorough. You threaten one of my
Yeah,
kids, got you.
gone.
I got
So, so,
you.
so I'm,
or,
so I
or
mean,
Sportsmaster is another one that could call on him too.
or
Like, he's helped him a couple times.
yeah, but he considers him a freaking
Oh, he hates Sportsmaster,
he
but
hates
still, that's
Sportsmaster.
another person that could contact him through the proper
Yeah,
channels.
yeah,
Because he does the same thing though.
yeah,
Sportsmaster does the same thing. It's just not as good.
yeah, right. I hit you
Nowhere
with a
near.
hockey puck. The hell? I just hit him
It
with a
blows up.
sword. I hit him with a Mac 9. I'm good, dude. He'll come back. Jesus. A
It's like,
freaking hockey puck. Get the hell out of here. Who are you, Casey
yeah,
Jones? I mean, what the hell?
that's he's a villainous Casey Jones, bro, with
Yeah.
exploding hockey pucks,
Right?
magnetic hockey pucks on top of that too. Dude.
Yeah.
Like Sportsmaster is a villain
He's like a what?
that looks
A
like
C
Jason
D?
Voorhees.
Yeah, he's like what? He's like
but,
a C or D
but
level villain.
yeah, dude, like, but he's skilled though as a
Yeah,
fighter.
no, he
But on
is.
top
He's
of
pretty
that, like
skilled.
he was with Tigress,
Yeah.
an assassin villain who got paralyzed and woe is me attitude in life. Meanwhile, Sportsmaster was like, whatever, I'm not staying there. I'm gonna go kill people.
Right?
Their kids, Jade and Artemis. Artemis became a hero, thank
Yeah.
God, because she was the most skilled of the children. And then Jade became a hero actually inadvertently because she fell in love with Arsenal, Roy Harper,
Yep.
and they had a kid, and she
Yep.
became good. Meanwhile, Sportsmaster's so pissed off, but he doesn't want to come near Arsenal because Arsenal will kill him.
Yeah,
And
no,
then
no.
he's
Roy is so
like,
freaking more skilled than him. It's stupid.
no,
Roy's
not
so.
just that, but he's like, "Who's your best friend?" Red Hood. Hmm.
Yeah, right?
I'm like, whoops.
Yeah.
You can stay with the kid. I'm out. I don't want to meet my grandkid either. I'm out. I'm staying away from you and everybody in that vicinity. Like, my ex-wife could stay in the wheelchair. I'm gone. I never knew her. Trust me, I'm down. Like,
Yeah, right.
he's a deadbeat dad on the finest
Yeah.
of levels.
Oh yeah, yeah, he's a freaking sack. All right,
Oh man.
so um so to wrap this up with Ben, I mean, damn, we're over an hour already, and we've been tangenting all day. So so so
Comic. No.
yeah, right. So with Ben, we do hope that he comes back. We really do, but I don't want him to come back if he feels like he's gonna fall back into his bad habits. But I don't think that's gonna happen.
No, that's not gonna happen, dude.
I know, like I said,
He's
I know, I'm just throwing it out there. But also, I want him to feel like that he's gonna get his ideas, and he feels like that he's not gonna get the screw job because there's more stuff coming out that Jeff Johns was screwing over a lot of them, and we already talked about with Jeff Johns screwing over Ben. It's been proven. It looks like that Ben had a script and had everything ready, but Jeff Johns wanted him to go do something different instead of letting Ben do what he wants. So I think that people got to remember that Jeff Johns was the head guy of all of the movies. He was the Kevin Feige of the movies. I'm sorry to say that, but that's what he was. Everything that the directors and the producers wanted to do, it had to go through Jeff Johns. And if they even did it, Jeff Johns was always on the set. And if he didn't like it, he went to the overlords, which was Toby Emmerich and Kevin Tsuchihara, and voiced his concerns. And that's probably what happened with Justice League. Even though Zack, Chris Terrio, they all said, listen, this isn't the same cusp as what George Lucas did for the Star Wars series. We got New Hope in Man of Steel, The Empire Strikes Back in BVS, and the Justice League was supposed to be like Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi. You're going to get everybody's going to come together, and they're all going to be the characters we all know them to be. And
but instead, we got the Rise of Skywalker level.
right. I know, right?
Yeah. Like, what?
What? Yeah,
not
so
even their bloodline.
yeah, right.
It's a terrible
So-
movie. I never watched it, by the way.
No,
You just said it. You told me the
don't.
story. I'm not gonna. I have enough brain cells to survive normal movies.
No, you didn't see. No, you did not sit through The Last Jedi. So, and I don't want to get into that. There's no tangents. No more tangents. Let's get to this. So,
I did sit through Last Jedi. It was rough.
yeah.
I did not want to watch The Rise of Skywalker. What?
Oh.
The Rise of Palpatine.
Yeah, right.
That's what you really should have called it.
Should called it, yeah, right. So we missed out on that, and people didn't understand that, and that's why a lot of us fought so hard for this cut, because that's what Zack wanted to give us. And regardless if I'm not saying when, if it's good or bad, at least we got what Zack wanted us, the story that Zack wanted us to get. But we all know that it's going to be epic because I love Man of Steel. Hawk loves Man of Steel. I love BVS. Hawk loves BVS.
Yeah.
I love BVS, the Ultimate Cut. Hawk wants to kill his mother and anybody else if he doesn't get BVS, the Ultimate Cut. That's how everything works. The movie was freaking phenomenal. We got an awesome Batman. Superman story made absolute effing sense. We got one of the greatest Batman sequences I have ever seen. Ever. I'm even using cartoon. We never had a Batman do what Ben Affleck's Batman did. Never. By himself, walk into a room with over a dozen men with armed to the teeth, and he took them all out.
Fighting.
Yeah, and he just grapple fought him. He barely used a lot of his gadgets because he didn't have a full round. It was freaking amazing. We saw
That's what made me like him.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Ben can be Batman forever now.
Yeah,
That
right.
was awesome. Like,
That was awesome.
You can stay, bro.
So, I mean, the next best sequence I remember was Michael Keaton taking on that dude in the bell tower. He beat the crap out of that dude in the bell tower and then threw his head into the bell and tossed him over the edge and killed him. But apparently Batman doesn't kill people.
Okay. Oh, you mean when he beat up Joker in the first movie and Jack Nicholson falls to his death? And then he blows up a building full of people, and then he killed people in the one factory area and only hung up one by his feet. Batman. He killed everybody else. He killed everybody in this movie except for a few.
Right? Except a few people. So,
not even a handful. Just a few survived this man. This dude was freaking Death Wish on steroids.
Right?
Pay attention, people. The guy drives in the car, speeds out, drops a bunch of freaking balls out of the side of the car, and the factory blows up full of people. They're dead. Don't tell me they survived. He killed everybody.
Yep.
And then he kills the Joker at the end by throwing him off, and he's like, "You don't come back."
Right?
You come back no more. Like, no.
So,
there was a lot of murder in that movie.
Yeah, he was a freaking straight murderer. So
he broke his oath.
Stupid people. Oh, man.
That must have been Thomas Wayne. That was not.
That wasn't Bruce Wayne. That was Thomas Wayne without the guns. He didn't need it.
And then he had a car and bombs.
Yeah, right?
Oh,
so,
man.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that. I really honestly don't want to hear that. People.
And then in the sequel, he killed people too.
Yeah. He
Smack, dead.
Yeah, he put a freaking he put the guy hit him, and he missed. He's all, you missed. He looked at it and looked down. The guy looked down. And there was the bomb instead of his freaking trunks. And he punched him and knocked him down into a chute, and he blew up. Yeah, he survived. With a bomb down his trunks, he's dead, dude. He's dead. Give it
gas, I promise.
Yeah, right. Sheesh.
Forever gas.
Yeah.
Oh
Jeez.
no, man! Like you guys say, like, and everybody loved this movies, right? And I'm sitting, I'm like, I swear Batman doesn't kill people. He killed a lot of people with this movie.
He killed a lot of people.
I was old enough to know. I was old enough to know that. Wow, he murdered a lot of people. But that's not what I read in the comics.
No.
It was a huge liberty. That was a
Yeah.
very dark movie, man. Like everybody's
But
like, no, it's not as kooky, but
the
this
thing
is not the '60s Batman, people.
no. And
This
here's
is
the
the Frank Miller murder Batman.
Yeah, and the biggest thing that a lot of people need to remember is even back in the 60s, he killed a few people. He killed KGBs, leaving them inside of a room with no food, no water, and then the moment he walked out of the because he trapped KGBs down into the sewer inside of a room that had only one exit. He beat the crap out of them and walked out the door and dropped the thing in front of it so KGBs couldn't get out, and he left. He left. He didn't tell the police or nothing. He left him to die. He's dead. So don't give me this nonsense that he doesn't kill. He didn't have his rule about not killing until the 2000s.
Yeah.
That's the truth. He never had anywhere in any of his history before 2000 was him saying I do not kill. He never it was up to the writer to make you assume did he kill that person or not. And a lot of us went, oh yeah, he must have saved the guy because what was it like 10 years later KGBs came back, so he must have survived. Nah, he dead. Man. So don't give me that nonsense. It's just
with the killing joke, right? Like don't go with the cartoons, people. It was terrible. Everybody was like, oh, he killed the Joker. Like, there's a huge argument. I was like, no, he didn't. He put his hand on his shoulder and laughed with him. He didn't put his hand on his shoulder, then his hand on his neck and start choking him out. He didn't kill him. They're like, well, we left it up for our interpretation. Get out of here. His hand's on his shoulder. That's it. And it ended with that laughter together. It was the only time they laughed together, and they walked away. That was it. He let him walk away. So, what? Why? Because he didn't really break a law again after that. And he didn't have really a place to put him at the time. So
there's a lot of misconception, but that's the whole point of why Frank Miller and Alan Moore, they wrote the stories that way for you to have the interpretation. Did he kill him? But if you really look at how the situation was set up, he didn't kill him. He didn't kill him.
The joke was funny.
Yeah, he just thought the joke was funny, and you gotta remember that Batman, as much as the stuff that he did, what he did to Commissioner Gordon wanted to kill him, and Batman said no, don't do that. That's what he wants. He told Gordon if he wanted Joker dead, he would have knocked Gordon out, took the gun, and shot him in the face and walked away. He would have done it. Batman would have done it and said, no, Gordon's hands is clean, mine would be dirty. That's how Batman does things.
And besides, I wear gloves. See ya.
Yeah, right? So burn. So don't give me this nonsense.
No, but he didn't kill him because how is he so adamant about not killing him, like you said, with Gordon, and then turn around and kill him? Like, that's stupid.
It's stupid.
Everybody who thinks that, oh, no, he killed him. No. He didn't technically kill the Joker until the Return of the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
That storyline where he's older, and then he fights Superman and all that stuff later
on. He killed the Joker. The Joker.
And then Joker finished snapping his own neck by turning his head because it finished snapping it. But he's like, I finally did it. I finally got you to kill me. And it was the cool Joker with the Yakuza tattoo on his back, man. That was He was a buff Joker. Yeah. He was very dangerous.
He was dangerous and he was calm. He was calm.
The worst.
Yeah, that's not a good Joker. He's calm, but he laughs when he does something sadistic, but he's very calm and extraordinarily intelligent. That's the reason why he went into a coma after his last battle with the Batman, after Batman beat him halfway to death. And then when he saw the Batman retired, he retired, he just went to his own head and just stayed there. The moment Batman came out after dealing with Two-Face, he came back and went, oh, so he's back. And then he got out of his coma and he wanted to commit one last massive murder
I
So Batman
like
come
that.
after him.
Even in the cartoon, it's in the comic too. But I like that one scene where he's like, "Can I have this cup? I like this cup. Yeah, we got a closet full. Really, smash, die." It's like, yeah. He's like, "Whoops! I should have never said that." He snapped your neck, dude. He's like,
Right.
slice with the jagged ceramic cup. I know that hurt.
Right.
The shock and terror in your eyes as the two dolls show up and then gas everybody, and he's like going
Right.
out with a smile, like,
Yeah.
whoa, this
Yeah.
dude
He
killed everybody in the
everybody in
studio.
that. Yep. He killed everybody in that studio just to make Batman come after him. And
And he still killed people on the way out.
yeah, he went
He
down the tunnel of love. He killed everyone in the carnival. He killed a whole bunch of people down the tunnel of love. He made people.
Yeah.
So he did a lot of
You guys
shit
will
just to
not
make
each
Batman.
other forever, Sad.
Yeah. So he did a
That
lot
was
of
the gun
crap.
with the knife. He was very nasty with people in that story.
Yep.
And it forced Batman to go, stop. You know why it forced him? He's like, I'm too old for this shit.
Right.
He's like, I'm 80.
Yeah.
My
Right.
dad is 100 and fucking forever. And then he dies. It's
Right.
like, what? Oh, man. It's an interesting
No, it's a
scenario. But that's
very
the only time he really killed the Joker, though.
yeah. That makes a lot of sense to the storyline. And again,
Until
until
Dark Knight's Metal.
yeah. Right.
And then you have the Batman that laughs, which is amazing. I want a statue of that Batman. Like I just like Batman all around, but when you have that one show up, I'm like, Mr. Schneider, I want to shake your hand. Mr. Capullo, thank you for drawing an amazing looking character, bro. Like
Yeah. There's a
that
lot about that
storyline
character.
is awesome.
Yeah. They did a really good storyline to
The
tell
Dark
you
Universe thing, and he's
that.
like the chess master of it all.
Yep.
On top of that, like
Yep.
what?
He planned everything because when he went with Barbados, that was the name of the entity. When he went off with Barbados, the Barbados showed him the whole multiverse, the whole spectrum of the multiverse, and he went,
that was Barbados' mistake, dude.
"Oh." So yeah, that was a big mistake too, man. He showed him the cosmetology. He was like, "Oh, so there's things beyond you, okay?" And he was, oh yeah,
Barbados is dead.
yeah, Barbados is gone. It's like, oh god. So
Yeah, he got beat. Yeah. We should use that as another story because you and I never talked about the Dark Universe, and I wanted to bring it up with this one, but we had some interesting tangents that worked out. But yeah,
right.
I think we should save the Dark Universe storyline for the next one then.
Okay, yeah, we could do that. We could do
Yeah.
a dark universe. I'll probably put instead of the picture of Darkseid, I'll do one of the Dark Knight. So we have something to talk about with that. I mean, no problem.
Yeah.
But now there was an interesting picture that was shown. They showed Wonder Woman during the nightmare sequence.
Oh,
Because we
she's
don't.
like the heavy metal queen from the '80s, dude. That's amazing. The death metal. She
Right.
looks cool in that. That's a cool looking Wonder
Oh
Woman.
yeah.
Excuse me, I got the hiccups.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that Superman, heavy metal Superman with the chains wrapped around his arm and stuff like that. Like the dude looks like a biker from the outer depths of hell. I'm like, oh yeah, and they're good guys still, but it's like really now. Whoa,
So
like and Batman's still a badass. So yeah,
right. And so the nightmare sequence, they show that they had a picture of Wonder Woman wrapped up, probably with another trench coat type on. Now, a lot of us are wondering what happened to Wonder Woman during this. Now, a lot of people assume that she died against Superman. She's probably one of the first warriors that went against Superman, and basically turned into paste. Which I think that's exactly probably what happened. He probably snapped her neck, threw her away like she was nothing.
nah, he lobotomized her brain into scrambled eggs and said goodnight
Yeah,
and stomped her
probably.
head into the ground. Yeah, that makes sense. Don't come back.
So so there's a lot of stuff we don't know about that nightmare sequence. There was the whole situation of like about the Flash and Cyborg, and we kind of got that answered a little bit because they said that I think Zach's the one that stated it, that basically the Flash that we saw in BVS, that Flash is from the nightmare sequence. He's from
Yeah.
that universe, and he was screwed up, and he was trying to figure out the point in time where he was supposed to show up to tell Bruce, you need to save Lois. That Lois is the key. You need to save Lois. But he went too far back. And I think that's where he was screaming like, wait a minute, am I too soon? Wait a minute, is he too soon? But he's talking to Bruce way before all this whole situation with freaking Darkseid. So he doesn't know what's going on until that very moment. So that's why it was said that when Cyborg is trying to separate the mother boxes and it creates that massive cataclysm, that cataclysm is the start of the nightmare sequence. That they failed in what happened, and Darkseid came himself and said, "Screw this," and came in and took over the planet. And the first thing he did was he tried to break the Kryptonian to his will, which is Superman, and he killed Lois instead, which forced Superman to go so emotional he broke his mental strain, and Darkseid used the anti-life equation to break Superman under his skull. Hence why he's flying all over the place, taking care of whatever Darkseid needs. And Batman this is the jaded Batman. This is the jaded Batman. Because this Batman was using guns, he was snapping dudes' necks and everything else. That's not Batman. He was like, right. he was doing dirty tactics and everything, but he was still trying to save people. So this was still the Batman from the BVS timeline. So we don't know having a Wonder Woman, and we don't know having a Cyborg and the Flash, but we do know the Flash must have been from that universe, since that's his armor is a little more advanced. Yeah, and the armor looks like it's been destroyed. And they said that that Cyborg helped the Flash create the cosmic treadmill, which caused Flash to be able to go back in time a little bit easier, so he could be able to control his ability to go through time. And again, I know people are going to say, well, he should be able to do that naturally. He doesn't know how to do that naturally. That's why he used the cosmic treadmill. It's Wally that can do it on sync. He can always go back and forth through time because he has such a connection to the Speed Force. It's just everyone wants everything now instead of saying, hey, no, this got built up. That's the reason why there's a thing called the cosmic treadmill. It's how Barry is able to go back in time at a better precise moment, because he can control his powers, and it can able for him to be able to dial it to a specific timeline.
He did it without the treadmill. He got Flashpoint Paradox.
Yeah, he would be too freaking powerful. He'd be insanely powerful if he could do that. That's the reason why.
Only time he did it though.
Yeah, it was the only time he did.
Paradox, when he ran and ran and ran because he was upset because it was the anniversary of his mother's.
No, it was her birthday.
Yeah, her birthday, and he freaked out because he remembered the death and the murder that changed his life forever, and he just ran and ran, and then all of a sudden he was back in time. He got to a point where he saved her, supposedly.
He did.
Things just got so far out of proportion that he had never had powers, and then he had to go to Thomas Wayne because he thought Bruce was alive and all this stuff.
He thought Bruce was Batman and everything else, yeah.
And it turned out, though, it's his pops. His mom's a choker. Like, yeah, I really messed things up. Superman is an anorexic alien.
Well, on top of that, we need to do a huge talk about Flashpoint, because there's one thing people forgot that people do not recognize, that I'm telling you right now. The whole Flashpoint storyline is not all Barry's fault, and you gotta look at it. It's deep. It's deep. Who really did it? Yeah, right. Who
it did?
The person who did it. I'm gonna leave this for Hawk, and maybe you'll agree. The person that truly started the Flashpoint universe was Eobard Thawne.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was all the other guy.
Yeah, it was all Thawne. He admitted it. Yeah, no, he admitted it. He didn't admit that he started this. He didn't admit that he started all this. He didn't say he started. He admitted that he was the one that screwed with Barry's life. Yeah. And what Barry did is what completely broke it. That's what he did. And that's why he's like, I'm not the villain of this. I didn't do this. You did. And I'm a paradox. That means you can kill me and I will never die. And then you died. Oh, and he died.
Charles Wayne for the win.
Right?
Oh man. Anyways, yeah, that's say something. That's for the
Yeah,
Dark
well,
Universe
yeah.
slash
So yeah,
Paradox.
we'll talk about the Flashpoint paradox. We'll talk a little bit about the Flash because I kind of want to get into a Flash topics, and I want to leave that with you guys. I want you to believe. Go back and if you guys got the books, read it.
Or even if you
If
have like
the
Comixology
movie,
or DC online, like just
yeah,
a lot of that stuff is on there.
it's on there, and in the movie doesn't even mention it. It kind of
Nope.
it kind of gives you a little bit of it, but it doesn't give you the
Oh, but
full
then you gotta
story.
watch Hell to Pay. Hell to Pay
Yeah,
kind of goes further into it.
further into it. So
That's a good story. I do like
yeah.
that one.
But if you really, I'm leaving it with you guys. Eobard is the full reason why this whole thing the whole Flashpoint universe started. Flat. I'm telling you that right here now. That is the big hidden gem in all of Flashpoint Paradox because of what Eobard told Barry. And if you guys disagree, hey, give us your point. Let's make it let's make it keep it
Good
civil.
discussion.
Yeah, just leave it as a discussion because I could be wrong, Hawk could be wrong, or you could be wrong. But the best thing is, do we keep a good discussion going? And I want you to tell me, why do you think that Eobard was not the one that truly started whole Flashpoint paradox? I can give you a solid reason why, and it's all because of what he told Barry and what Barry did. So, and the movie
I
doesn't
got
really get into it.
a trump card right off the bat. He killed
Yeah.
his mama, and it gave him powers, and it started the treadmill to hell. Okay, done. It's all because he killed his mama with a knife.
So,
That's the beginning, and you guys are probably gonna be like, "Well, damn, you can't." That's logic, dude.
so so give me your guys' point, and again, let's keep it civil, and also let's keep it on topic about the Flashpoint paradox, and that's it. So I want to leave it there. I don't want to make it too long. We're about an hour and a half. This will be out on Monday. Today is Friday. This is one of the times we can get this done, unless I can be off on a Friday. But I'm glad that me and Hawk were able to do this. If Hawk couldn't be able to do it, I will definitely give you a solo one. So we have this out on Mondays, like we always do. I want to thank you. Like, comment, share, subscribe down below, and share. Let other people hear about this.
Yes, just pass it
So
along because
pass it
we
along.
enjoy doing this.
Exactly. And we have our point of views. You guys have your point of views, but the best thing we do is come to a consensus and let's talk about it like adults, please. I don't want to be arguing with like kids, or you will be ignored. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna. I deal with that stuff at my day job, and Hawk does deals with this
Yeah,
almost all the time.
don't turn
We
into
don't.
a parasitic oxygen thief, please.
Yeah,
We
yes,
don't need
please.
that. I like my
Yeah.
oxygen. Don't become that.
So let's keep it as adults. We all love comic books. We all love the DCEU. We all love the movies, but let's keep it to a fair conundrum. There's a lot of stuff that we probably didn't cover. Give us some options about what's going on with the DCEU. I'm a lot of focus on a lot of my own personal stuff and also work, so I may not have everything. But I know the next one we're gonna talk a little bit about the Flashpoint paradox, because that's something that's being talked about for the Flash movie, and I don't want that. I don't want them to use that as their jerry rig into, hey, let's just tell a Flash story. Let's start with the Flashpoint paradox. Why?
It's rough.
It's rough. Why? It's a very dark storyline. Why would you want that? I wouldn't mind it, but I don't want that. I want them to give Barry his just due. I want to see what they're going to do with this version of Barry. I love Ezra Miller as Barry. He has that quirkiness. He has that scientific quirkiness that I really like about it. And he's already shown that he loves this character, and he already has the understanding of the science better than anything I've ever seen. He understands the science behind the Flash's powers. So why would you want to get rid of that and get some guy who goes, well, he just runs fast? I don't want to hear that.
He's not Quicksilver.
All right. So I don't want to hear that. So again, let's keep it civil. Let's keep it fair between everybody else, and of course, give us some ideas. I'll write them down, and we'll talk about it. I've also heard about the one about the Red Hood. We will talk about that. I will say let's add that into the one for with the Flashpoint paradox, and let's talk about the Red Hood a little bit more. How would they interact him into the universe? I still think that we should get a Return of the Red Hood storyline with Ben. If Ben wants to do something like that, if he doesn't, hey, that's fine. But I think that I would love to get Tim Drake into this universe and then slowly bring in Damian. But but with Ben's character, it will make no sense. It will absolutely make no sense because he's already in his golden years, and you're now going to introduce his son. That makes absolutely no sense. So I would love to see something else go on and how they're going to introduce him and even Damien. But I would say let's give Damien a rest. Let's do Tim. Let's get Tim into there so we can have a much fairer universe because we're gonna have Damien all over the place. I would love to see a live action Tim Drake. I would love to see it. And then let's give us more of his two other sons, and let's get Batgirl in the middle of it, and let's grow the universe up instead of just shoving all these characters in where you're like, okay, we're gonna put Knight and Pawn and Bishop and Rook. How we're gonna put these characters in place to have them be able to have their own adventures. So that's how I would say they should do it. But that's me, and I know that a lot of people have other ideas with it. But I don't think that shoving the whole Bat family into one movie and think that that's the okay thing to do is gonna be the right thing to do. Let's slowly build it where we have an already pre-made Dick Grayson, but he's not in the life anymore, and let's bring him back into the life, and let's bring in Red Hood, let him be the villain for a little bit, and then bring him in as the anti-hero, and then let's bring in Tim Drake, and then we're good to go for a little while, and then let's just say Ben wants to not be Batman anymore, and we're gonna have Dick Grayson as a new Batman. It doesn't mean that we can't introduce Damian Wayne.
What you can have after Ben leaves, you can have the battle for the cowl.
Yeah, you got the battle for the cowl where he basically either he well. I don't want to get into that because that's the whole Batman R.I.P. and into the battle for the cowl, because I read the whole thing. I read all of Batman R.I.P. and I read all of Batman for the cowl, and they could do that as Ben's retirement movie from the role and move away from Bruce Wayne and just bring in Dick Grayson as as Batman. But I would say already have Tim Drake in the middle of it. You got to bring Tim Drake into this because it has to make sense why he's going to be doing his thing. And understand his destiny and what he needs to do with his character. So there's a lot of things you got to do. Yeah, so there's a lot of things they can do, and this doesn't have something they could do within the next 5 years. This could be over 10 years. This could be a 10-year build up, and you're still building up the rest of the DCEU universe. So there's a lot of things they can do, but they need to have some good fresh ideas and people that are willing to help them build the universe. But they need an architect that's going to listen to other people's ideas and work with them, but keep them on the straight and narrow for certain storylines so they don't feel like they're going to go off in this weird tangent that'll actually make no sense. Thor. So I that's why I feel that Zach is the right guy for the job, but he should have maybe two other people that are going to keep him straight and narrow. I think Walter Amada is a good guy because the guy obviously knows what he's doing. He okayed a lot of the movies. There's a few that I was kind of about. One of them was Birds of Prey, but I'm gonna give him the on that because he just needed to make movies. He just needed to put movies out, good or bad. He needed to put movies out so people can actually see these movies. But now to build a universe, we need to have something concise and a major arcing villain. And I think Darkseid is the perfect villain for the whole thing. And then they can, quote unquote, get rid of him, stick him in a source wall, or Superman punches his lights out to the point where he throws him into the next universe. Whatever. But in the middle of building that universe, you got to build other villains. Like you can, I'm not gonna say villains per se, but like Green Lanterns, you can do Black Hand and Necron, and do the whole Blackest Night. For Batman, you could still do his whole rogues gallery. You don't have to do Ra's al Ghul as the overarching villain. Why? You don't need to. You could do anybody else. For Wonder Woman, you could do Cersei. You can do Ares comes back to life, or he shows up, or the Return of the Gods, and they're trying to bring they're trying to get the humans to worship the gods again, because Zeus is like sick and tired of, no, he's tired of the fact is that they're worshiping these heroes instead of the gods, and you have this conflict between Wonder Woman and the gods. That's happened before in the comics, so it's not like it hasn't happened before. It's happened before. She's always been that one division between the gods and humanity because she's a half god. Now, where's her loyalties lie? Is it with the gods, or is it with her Amazonian heritage, or is it with humanity? And that's great confliction. Cyborg, we talked about it before. Grid, or he's hearing voices. He doesn't know who it is. It could be Deathstroke. It could be Darkseid. It doesn't matter. He's hearing something and it's making him go down a weird path. That's fine. The Flash, you got plethora of villains. You could do the Rogues. You could do Eobard Thawne. You could do Gorilla Grodd. Yeah, there's a lot.
Gallery is almost as big as Batman's.
Yeah, and they're not. Some of them are as dangerous, but the handful of the ones that are dangerous are just a handful. Batman's almost all of his villains are dangerous. Almost all of them are. So
the Hatter.
Yeah.
That's the only one that he has that is just like whatever.
Yeah, you kind of he's kind of like a thug. But anywho, who else? Oh, Aquaman. The whole thing with Aquaman, we said before, you can have Black Manta, you could have just the dealings of the political climate in Atlantis. There's a lot of things that can.
Aquaman doesn't have a lot of villains, right? So
He doesn't.
his is most political, racial-driven stories.
Yeah,
and people don't understand
that.
He only has maybe four.
Four that are the highest that we all know of. But he does have he deals with them over and over and over again. But his whole thing is he has an internal.
He's just being half-breed and all that.
Yeah.
It mentioned the racist thing and prejudice stuff before though.
Yeah.
And the other stuff, like people don't understand that. That's why people hate Aquaman, because they didn't really explain what he really was like back then. So he was kind of wrong. Because he can, if he really wanted to, with his magic abilities and the people he has, he can kill Superman. With his people that know magic, like his wife and all that, they can get rid of him. He is bulletproof. He is kind of bomb-proof. Like this is a serious hero that can go in the deepest parts of the sea. Who else can do that? That's what makes him so strong. So yeah, like. Stop shitting on Aquaman. Remember, shit floats.
Now, here's the other thing. We talked about the racism and the political climate and everything else. Don't make it too personal to the audience. That's what I mean. Don't make it too personal to the audience. Just keep it simple.
Messing it up.
Yeah, you can make it so politically charged and so racially charged that people are going to be like, come on, man.
And a lot of people, the popcorn eating audience doesn't have the attention span longer than a gnat.
Yeah, and also I'm trying not to bring a lot of the political stuff into this podcast. I want to keep it outside of it, but this character, you can easily turn him into a pandering, left-wing, nonsense-driven story. You can easily do it with this character because of you can ruin the character. Yeah, you can ruin this character, and it's taken close to 30 years for them to finally get him to a right standpoint where we can all enjoy his character. Yes, he could be a little more jokey. Yeah, Momoa himself is just trying to bring more of his own personality into the character. I have no problem with that because the guy's a fun-loving character. Arthur can be a fun-loving character once he's in the water and away. Yeah. But
early 90s, late 80s.
Yeah, and but the thing about Momoa is he could go from fun-loving to instant look like a stoic guy who's gonna rip your throat out within like 2 seconds. He could change his whole demeanor. Yeah, and that's how I feel that he should do as Aquaman. He could be that character. I don't want him to be like Drago from Game of Thrones. I don't want him to be that. I don't want him to be that character. I want Jason Momoa to bring himself into that character, but also understand that he's a king that has to keep his kingdom in check. And there's a lot of ways to doing that. And also, they did touch on it in the first movie. He's a true half-breed. He's a true half-breed. So he has his father's bloodline, the bloodline of his people in there, and then he has the Atlantean bloodline and his people in there. So they can easily touch into those stories, like Hawk said, about of him being not just the fact that he's not blonde hair, blue eyed, and he's not a typical Atlantean, but the fact is that he's a true half breed. He's a half blood, and he is a mix. He's a mix of two true races.
Yep, and
So
he's a proper king on top of that.
yeah, and he's the true proper king. He has the powers of the original king of the King Atlan. So I want them to really use that, and they they give us the surface level storylines of the racism he deals with and the political climate he deals with, but don't make it too personal to all of us, to the reflections of what's really going on in the world. Keep it simple. Don't make it too deep. And I think they'll have a really good time with it, and it'll make a lot more sense. So that's my thoughts on Aquaman. But everyone else, I mean, they can easily do some good stories. Aquaman will be a little bit tricky because you can easily turn it into a political, left-wing propaganda piece, like within an instant. Within an instant. And I don't want that with this character. I don't want that. I want them to keep it a little conservative and just tell us a really good, fun-loving story, but have us understand that this is what the character deals with all the time. And we go, oh, that makes a lot of sense. But not go, man, really? Man, do I feel like I want to vote for Trump? Do I want to? No, I don't want to feel like I have to vote for somebody just because of something. I just want to have an understanding of why Arthur has to deal with this stuff all the time, and why he's not always with the Justice League. He's not always with the Justice League. He has to deal with the seven seas and all the crap that goes on underneath those seas. He can't, unless it's gonna drop on his doorstep. He doesn't want to deal with it. And most times he doesn't want to deal with it. But I want to see what the political climate is in Atlantis, because that's honestly the biggest stories that he deals with. So so again, we're gonna leave it there. I'm sorry we went on another tangent, but like I said, like, comment, share, subscribe down below, hit that bell. We're gonna try to get these out as on Mondays. This is always gonna be our Monday shows. Do you have anything you want to say, Hawk?
No, because I don't want to accidentally go into a tangent.
Okay, we're gonna cut it there. All right, so we're gonna cut it there. Thanks for joining us. You guys have a great day. Bye.